What's going on, guys? Back for another SmackTalk podcast. I'm your host, JR Sports Media, here with Kevin Mesnick, Jonathan Weathers, and our host, Robby Berger. He's the host of the Ridiculously Dumb podcast on BroBibles. Robby, what's going on, my man?
How we doing, fellas?
What's up, brother? How you today?
Doing all right?
Living.
Good. Good. Happy to be here.
For those that don't know you, just describe what you do, what you're doing in comedy, what you're doing in the world of fun. Just to give us a little brief summary of what's going on.
Yeah, so I'm the host of the Brilliantly Dumb show. My Instagram's Brilliantly Dumb, and just kind of built up a big Instagram following, and one thing kind of led to another, and next thing you know, I was doing a podcast, and picked up some steam, and just kept it rolling.
So how'd you end up coming up with the name Brilliantly Dumb? And how'd you get into kind of posting the comedy kind of Instagram content?
To be honest, people ask me the Brilliantly Dumb question. I don't, it was so long ago. I knew the humor was, that's where we tried to hit it with kind of like that Seinfeld humor, or it's like smart humor that people don't think of, but that's pretty dumb at the same time too.
Hey.
So tell us a little bit about BroBible. So is it a little bit like Barstool Sports? What's the main navigator for BroBible? What are they trying to get done in the industry of media?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty similar to Barstool. Their big thing is their website, so they get a lot of traffic on their website. And they've built a big following throughout the years. I liked it. It was a really good fit for me.
Cool. What was a goal of yours when you started your podcast? On the first time you started it off, what was your goals to accomplish for it?
Yeah, it's a good question. When it first started, it was kind of just get it out there because so many fans of the page said you got to do a podcast, and I knew I had it in me for sure. But once I said get it out there, I did it. And then a couple episodes in, I started to kind of build the structure to it, and that's when it really picked up some steam because people, the fans were able to feel like they're part of the show. What segment's next, and that's when it started to build up some steam.
Right on. I noticed. Okay. Oh, we all want to ask him questions. All right, I'm gonna take it and run up the middle. I noticed some of the people you just interviewed. John Taffer. You just you interviewed Jordan Belfort a while ago. What was kind of like the first real cool guest that came on your podcast that you were like, all right, this is like kind of getting the ball rolling? Because all these names I'm seeing are people I know. So
yeah, it's interesting how it got rolling. Believe it or not, the first person I knew that I could get that I had a relationship with when I first signed to BroBible, we had the studio all rented out and everything, was Bob Menery, who's
yes, I love him. His Instagram page.
Yeah, he's huge. And he was great. After I had him on, he was a great interview. But after, he connected me with a lot of people, which led to our next interview with the Navy SEAL who shot Bin Laden.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that was like that was surreal to me. I mean, that was bizarre.
Yeah.
What was your initial goal of making this podcast, though? Because I know everyone has dreams and aspirations. What did you want to get out of putting your content out there and, not being so self-conscious of what you're doing on the internet?
Yeah, once it got brewing was to really create something out of it and give the fans something that, they could really get into. And it's been neat. The bigger that it's gotten, it's kind of like it's like a little cult. The people who follow it, and it's been so neat to watch it grow and keep growing.
What would you say your favorite part of being a content producer is?
Waking up every day and just focusing on content. That's what BroBible gave me. That's what they gave me the freedom to do is, they trusted that I knew what I was doing and they trusted the content. They pretty much just said, they gave me free reins to do it. So waking up and just thinking of funny shit has been awesome.
Right on.
So are you at the point, I'm sorry to cut you off, Kevin, but are you at the point where if you're in public, people are going to recognize you as the guy, the brilliantly dumb guy?
Yeah, I get it. Not every time I go out, but a decent amount I'll get it when I go out. A lot of people will say "Not today, bub," which is from the golf videos that I did at Riviera. So I'll get that a lot. But it never gets old. I mean, it's bizarre to me. I've even been with my family and somebody's come over while we're having dinner and whatnot. It never gets old. It's really
just shoot the shits, right?
Yeah. I mean, they just come over and chop it up and it's surreal.
So I've seen some of your golf videos. Is that something you just do for shits and giggles, or are you actually a good golfer? You golf in your spare time?
If you know Joey Coldcuts is a very good golfer. I'm good, not great. You know, like I'm just barely breaking 90, but it's enough to where I enjoy it so much just getting out there. You know, you're clugging some brews with the guys, and like it's the best bonding time you can have. So I can play every day, even if
What do you play any sports growing up? I mean, we're a sports podcast. That's one of our goals is to interview a lot of sports. So what's your background in that?
Yeah, I played so high school. I played baseball. Baseball was the only sport that I played, and then I played at a small school in Jersey in college. And then, you know, when it's time to hang up the cleats, I knew when it was time, and you know, so elsewhere, unfortunately.
Happens to the best of us, my man.
Yeah, you know what, boys? When it's time, unfortunately.
You're a Yankees fan, right?
Huge
Yankees fan. You think this was the year to take the World Series?
Yeah, I mean, even with all the shenanigans they're dealing with, I still worry about the Astros. But look, I definitely think it was either us or the Dodgers. But once playoff time comes, you guys know anything can happen.
Yeah.
You know.
So you're a Yankee fan. So you're from New York?
Jersey, born and raised in Jersey.
All right. Well, I got season tickets. I'm a Met fan, so obviously we don't agree on the sports sides of things.
Jeez, you should have closed with that, not started. I thought we were off to a good start.
I mean,
I wanted to hang up originally.
Listen. I'm an unbiased journalism. So basically, I root for the teams that are horrible, and I hope for them to win. But the thing is, I'll never have that suffering end because I'm never going to see anyone win. The Mets, you know, they were close in the World Series, but then the ball goes under Lucas through his leg, and
I'll never
all this
forget
shit.
that.
Yeah, I was there, so yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget that either, Yankee fan.
Been a rough ride, huh?
You don't got to give me the 27 ring speech.
Hey, I wouldn't do it to you. We haven't had one in some time now, so you got to stay humble about it.
And I'm a Boston guy. I'm from Boston, so I wanted to hang up. But
you guys are just throwing salt on the wound. It's getting worse.
Heavy hitters.
See, I can't say anything right now because we're in a whole reset, so it's quiet over here. I was all right, Yankees guy.
There you go. Smart man there, Johnny Dubs.
So, Robby, what is some advice you'd give someone? You know, everyone wants to be a content producer, I think. Everyone wants to be their own boss, produce funny shit, you know, shoot the shits with the boys, drink a couple beers, have some fun. What is your advice to that kid in high school who wants to be a content producer but doesn't know how to apply themselves to be in that kind of realm?
Yeah, it's another good question. The main thing that I think that people really appreciate is when it's natural. I think a lot of times certain things or videos, it's forced, or you try when there's something and you can produce stuff that just comes off so natural. I think people end up appreciating that more than anything.
Yeah, I think being yourself is the best way to elevate yourself, you know, in any realm of business world, whether it be content, whether it be, you know, real estate, whether it be anything, having that sense of confidence definitely goes a long way.
No doubt about it. Yeah, and it starts to flow. And again, the people that then see it and follow, they learn to appreciate it as well, you know?
There's a certain likability about authenticity. You know, it just draws you in regardless.
No doubt about it. It's a powerful thing. I mean, you guys know, if you see certain videos, if somebody's trying too hard or if it's staged, you know, it's just never as good. You see somebody that's authentic and it comes out natural. Can't beat that, you know?
Not at all.
So what is the hardest part about making video content? I know you try to become as authentic as you can. You're basically acting as you would in any normal realm, whether the cameras are on or off.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays you got to be, you know, not that you didn't have to before, but now especially you got to be very careful on what you say, you know, and when you say it, you can it's very easy to get people upset or a certain group so you just got to be very careful with it. And my suggestion, you stay the fuck away from politics.
Stay the fuck away from politics, 100%, my man.
You'll never win. You know, unless you have a show or whatnot that is based on politics, stay away.
One of our questions here, you're saying stay away from politics and Saul Newman. One of our questions here is, if you could get blasted with any president, who would it be and why? George Bush. Actually, George Bush was a frat boy through and through.
Has nothing to do with right or left. Or George Bush, to get that guy hammered would be phenomenal. Yes,
No, I hear you.
yeah, that's an easy one for me because it's just I would love to get pummeled with him. I really would.
Oh no.
So a question for you, man. So what would you say was your favorite interview that you've done so far? A favorite person you met or talked to?
Yeah, it's another good one. Michael B. Jordan was really neat. That was a really cool one. I'd have to go with the Navy SEAL at Chopin Line because I'm doing this interview, and it's hard as the interview. You can't act too excited it just to hear that story was unbelievable. I mean,
you have to maintain a level of respect, and you can't overstep. So I didn't get a chance to research that at all in our time that we had. Was that an anonymous? He wasn't. Is his face public now, or that's completely?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
He's
okay.
done a couple press tours, and he has a book. His name is Robert ONeill. He's a great guy.
Oh wow.
And just to get that story on what it was like and going there, and he basically said that when they went over to get him, they thought for sure that they'd be killed out there. It was supposed to be a one-way mission. So he talks about the last call that he made to his dad that he thought would be the last call, and his dad came on the show, which ended up being awesome for us.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then after the interview, we were having so much fun together that he ends up coming back to my apartment after me, him, and his dad, are crushing drinks. And it a couple times I had to pinch myself, I'm sitting in this living room crushing drinks.
Right.
It was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was an insane day. It was hard to really take it all in.
So I'm kind of taking this from another interview that we did with a former NFL running back and playing with all these kind of superstars. It's almost translates to the same thing as talking to people on a podcast that are famous. What is that like for you? You've garnered a name for yourself, so maybe you kind of have that about yourself. But talking to people that are have their faces in the news and the media that are famous, it's what kind of mental preparation is that? Is there any?
What's good for me? What really helped with all of that? Before BroBible hired me, I was working as a guest services manager at the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills. So
customer service, baby.
You better believe. You better believe it. So that you're dealing with celebrities every day, and you as time goes on, you just learn that these guys are normal people. And once the interviews came, you always get the butterflies. That's no matter who's coming on. But doing that really helped to just making them comfortable.
And then again, I think that relates back to the authenticity of it. They can relate to you because, real recognizes real at the end of the day.
No doubt about it. No doubt. And they, the more comfortable they see you are, then they get very comfortable too. So it comes with time.
So, Robby, besides yourself, obviously, who would you say is your favorite content producer and or comedian right now?
It's a great question. Oh, man.
Please tell me you like Joey Diaz because he's one of the boys.
See, I don't know Joey Diaz.
That's a stand-up comedians. Yeah. Joey Diaz is stand-up. Speaking of Bob Maneri, for any of the viewers out there that don't know who he is, he does I guess parody voiceover announcers. Yeah. He's like a parody analyst. So he'll do crazy voiceovers of moments in sports and swear. I watched him one morning. I was in tears. I went through his whole page for hours.
You know who I've come to like because I love TikTok now.
You're a big TikTok guy?
I'm addicted.
Don't we all in quarantine?
Oh God, I think it's awesome. But you know who I like, and I usually don't like the prank content because that isn't really natural. But these guys, I think the Nelk Boys.
The Nelk Boys. I was just gonna say that 100%.
I find them to be extremely. They're just funny.
Those guys have some nads. Those guys have some nads on them to hold the straight face.
Face while doing all that.
Yeah, I get anxiety watching some of the shit that they do.
And they go into some shit where they could really get themselves hurt. They could really, it's funny.
It seems like because they're Canadian, they get out of everything too, or something. They always get arrested in the U.S. and they're like, "Oh, we're not from here." So
yeah, like you said, they have a way of keeping it together. They which makes it even funnier. So it's not like they're just doing the prank, but they're being really funny while they do it. I've learned to like them a lot.
yeah.
So as someone that just recently started a media platform, obviously in the beginning stages, what is some advice that you would give me to not only, let's say, blow up online, but blow up in a way where we could be ourselves and be natural with it? And like you said, a cult like crowd comes with that. So how would you prepare for that? And what was your best advice to give us to get the ball rolling?
It would, you know what, it's kind of like an old school way, but it's the best way to get it done. And like I've talking to Menery about this. He did the same thing, dishing your stuff out. Every time you guys have a good clip, a good bit, a good video, whatever it is, send it to as many accounts as possible. And I think you'd be surprised how many of them actually see. You know, like Menery, for instance, he's got 2.5 million followers. You think when you DM him, he doesn't see it? I guarantee you he's seen every single one that comes in. You know, you got nothing to lose. And then if 1 out of 100 of them post, that's huge. And then the ball keeps rolling.
Very true.
You know?
That's definitely good advice to give us, obviously, because if you don't shoot the shot, you'll never know if you made it. So, I mean, coming from someone like you, anything is possible, man. You just got to be authentic.
Right. Ain't that right, Johnny Dubs?
You already know, man. Speaking of shooting the shot, can we get a shout out? Can we get a shout out on some social media, brother?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you guys a shout out. No doubt about it.
My man.
I'll shoot you guys one for sure.
Nah,
so, Robby, I appreciate coming on. Obviously, we're big fans of your content. You can check us out at SmackTalk, SmackTalk Pod on Instagram. You can go and shout out where people can find you at. Just once again.
So it's going to be the Brilliantly Dumb on Instagram. You can find that same thing, Twitter as well. And then the YouTube is the Brilliantly Dumb Show.
Well, we'll definitely be tuned in 100%. Robby, keep going because the content never stops, my man. Thanks once again
for tuning in. I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, thank you, brother, for coming on, my guy.
My absolute pleasure. Best of luck to you guys, all right?
Thank you.
This has been another podcast of the Smack Talk. I'm your host, JR Sports Media, and it's just like that.
Later, fellas.